Yes, guys, welcome from me. This is Championship Manager 0102, the three-man game. We've come to the end of season 142. What an epic game. What an epic game it's been. And we've managed to hammer out a couple of good sessions on this actually recently in order to just sort of cross over the finishing line. And quite a finishing line. So I'll tell you what we'll start with, yeah? So we'll start with something a little bit different to normal. We'll start with the international side of things. And I think we have to give a lot of credit here to Ian. Ian wins the Euro 2156 with Holland. Not the greatest setup in the world, but he wins the Euros, and I think he deserves a lot of credit. So, will he still be there for the World Cup? My gut feeling is yes. I think he will. Meanwhile, Pep was involved for the Euros, and he was knocked out to France on penalties. And it was a shame, really, because look at that. That's disgusting, isn't it? It's a shame, really, because it would have been great to have seen Pep and Ian take each other on in the final. But it wasn't to be. Now, I don't know if that's going to keep him his job, in all honesty, for the simple reason, the last World Cup, he got knocked out in the second round. He shouldn't have kept his job there, in all honesty. So, personally, I don't think so. But you never know. Anyway, that's enough of the shit fucking internationals. Let's talk about the league now then. So, season 143 is upon us. We're in pre-season. There's a lot of deals already been taking place here, there, and every fucking where. But it's all about last season. And it went like this. The title returned to Manchester City. Yeah, it is crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it's another season goes by without Pep getting it. I mean, oh my God. But I've got to be honest with you, right? He looked more dangerous last season than I've ever seen him before. And you'll understand why in a minute. So, for us, we won the league, and that was absolutely, it was paramount. It was paramount. The league is always paramount. And we won it, as you can see, with 101 points. So, very, very happy indeed. And as you can see, you can actually, just by that screenshot alone, you can see when we took over in 44 to 45, we took over. So we've had quite a run, haven't we? We really have had quite a run as Manchester City, and it don't even seem. It seems longer. It seems so much longer. So, and I've just given something away there, haven't I? I've given something away by clicking onto landmark. So we won the Champions League last season, and the best part of that is we beat Pep in the final, in a one-sided final, it would be fair to say. A one-sided final in terms of goals. A bit harsh, really, the scoreline. But the mean machine up top scored all 4 goals, and that was massive for me, because I'm talking to you about Pep. Pep's been more dangerous than ever. So, firstly, let's go to Pep then. And you're going to see spoilers here of why I'm saying Pep was so dangerous. Because Pep clinched both cup finals. He smashed Chelsea. That weren't going to be an easy game. Don't underestimate that. He smashed them in the FA Cup final. And he beat me in the League Cup final. So, this is what I mean. And he was, that Champions League meant a lot to him, because he'd have won all the domestic cups and the European Cup had he won it. But it wasn't to be. Now, if you look at the Champions League semi-final there, he drew the first leg of Ian 1-1. Very lucky to get a draw there and the away goal. And then in the second leg, he edged a 1-0 victory. So you probably could argue that I deserved my semi-final spot. When it gets to the semi-final of the Champions League, especially the Champions League, because the chances are we win our respective phase groups, and then the second phase, and then we win our quarterfinals, because we won't land each other. And it's always about who's going to land who. And we always hope, I know I do, I always hope to land whoever the AI are. And of course, I did. I think we get that bit of luck every season. It always goes to one of us. So Pep, I think it's onwards and upwards of Pep. He's still continuing to play. I don't want to call it my formation, but I'm going to say it's my fucking formation, which is fair enough. And for me, to win the league and the Champions League is absolutely brilliant. For Ian, now Ian, he'll be absolutely, he'd have been disgusted to have got a trophyless season once again. Let's have a look at Ian's signing so far then, this turn of the calendar year, of the CM year, shall I say. So when I say that, I mean it's pre-updates that he bought them. I'm not unsure about that guy, to be honest with you. Very unsure about him. There was a little bit of debate about this guy. Ian made a point of saying we binned him off, and we did bin him off, and there was a reason I binned him off, and that was because he caused problems. Now, I didn't spot that before. He caused problems, and when I say cause problems, you know what I mean by that. You know, fueling moves, that sort of shit, and already willing to stay at the club. So that tells me, you know, I think it's Drogba regen, because I think Pep had him originally, and Pep sold him to me for the same reason that I sold him on. He looks a fucking beast, and there is no doubt whatsoever that we all do this. I'll buy a player that Ian had, or Ian got rid of, or Pep will buy a player that I got rid of, vice versa, blah, blah, blah. And that's because we want to prove to the other two managers, you see, I can fucking get him. And this is no different. I would say Ian has got him in, and Ian will hope to have him have a good season, so he can then gives him the bragging rights, don't it, to say, you fuckers let him go. You know? And yes, we did. You know, and I never really gave him a chance, to be honest with you. Oh, he was over on a free, was he? That's bizarre, isn't it? Okay. Didn't even spot that. So, yeah, so we'll see. Neves is a good fullback from Ian. Anglov's got to be Bulgarian, isn't he? Okay. He's put him straight in the resis. And Gutierrez, he's bought 2 goalies. Okay, we'll see. We'll see where we go from that for Ian. On to Southampton then. Let's see what they've brought this turn. 2 players. Ohana, I think he's great. He's a very, very good player. And if Pep's thinking about it, he needs to be on the wing. He needs to be on the wing, in my opinion. And I think he'll be a really good player for Pep. Hang on, was there a reason I knew there was a reason, right? I knew there had to be a reason why I didn't go for him, because I'm sure I was tracking him, and that is the reason. There's not been severe injuries, but, well, you never know. And Matsukova, I would personally question that signing. Okay, and as for me then, we brought Lira for £4.1 million. Somebody for the resis. Let's see if we bought anybody else, because I can't remember. Yeah, we've got 2 more players. Bukvic. That may well be Vidic. If it's not Vidic, then I've already got Vidic. I'll show you that in a minute. And Schilder. Method to my madness on that. I like the look of him, and I think he's a regen of a certain midfielder, Dutch midfielder, who was a bit of an assist machine. So I'm willing to take the punt. I'm willing to take the punt. So I said to you that Bukvic should be Vidic. If it's not, then Boskovic is. One of them is. So, big news really is that Lenore Sanchez, you know, just look at what a beast he is. I mean, I had him at Chelsea back in the day, and he was brilliant for me then. Got him over for 60 million, I think it was, I paid for him in the end. In fact, I know it was 60 million we paid, 2020, and he's been brilliant. I actually transfer listed him. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you, there was something in my head. He's on his last year. He's not signing a deal, but he is 32, or shall I say, he's actually about to turn 33. And I was looking at maybe if Ian or Pep came for him, which they might, I would look at an exchange. I'll show you a player that I sold in a minute, and on that same subject. So they're not going to come for it. I'm probably going to keep him. I think he'll do another job for me, won't he, for another season. I think there's no doubt about that. So that was one thing. Of course, my main man at top is the Colombian striker, Mosquero, absolute beast. Take nothing away from this guy, absolute monster. Take nothing away from Neymar regen. Absolute monster. And I don't know who this guy is, but look at him. Look at that. The assist is just absolutely insane. It really is. So I transfer listed a player, right? Rafael Christians. My defence, I feel, has been a bit weak, and there's been a few fueling moves. I listed this guy, right? Pep offered me a deal, and when I'm dealing with Pep and Ian, unless it's a player that I know won't really enhance them, unless it's a player that I know won't, I want an exchange. Pep came in with a couple of players, wasn't good enough. Simple as that. Ian came in, my deal with Ian is, I said, no, one of these two players. And I went back to Ian with two players, one of them players and a little bit of money. And he said, no can do. I went, that's fine. I'm not selling to my rivals. Now, Ian will probably keep an eye on him. They both will. And they might even get him. And then that's going to backfire on me. But do you know what? That's the risk I take. That is the risk I take. He had a bad season for me last campaign. There's no doubt about it. We've got rid of... That was earlier in January. We sold him to Pep. I don't know how bad he did. He did alright for Pep, actually. I think it's an interesting one, right? Cast your mind back to last season. So Pamic, Pietrasqui, who Pep has actually sold on since. Yeah, I've still got him. You know, this guy. I sold a lot of players to Pep. It's quite interesting, actually. Okay. So, it's all about the new season. Where do we end? Where do we end it? I mean, if I was going to leave Man City on a high, I think the best time to go would be now. Having won the league, having won the Champions League. Now, I'm going to look at this. I've not even looked at this. Unless Arsenal are available. No, they're not. That is really the only team that would appeal to me. They're in the bottom tier. That is the only team that would really interest me, to be honest with you. If they were to come vacant. Truth be told. True fact. Maybe, and I do say it's a maybe Newcastle. I might entertain. No, they were rich actually, so maybe not now. So Arsenal probably the only team. Something did interestingly happen. I asked for more seats, and they gave me it, 16,000. So that will only encourage me to just remain at Man City for the long haul. For Pep. So Pep has not won the title since 21-22. 34 years. 34 years is just... it's crazy. It's wrong. It's wrong, isn't it? Pep, come on. And that's it, guys. That is our three-man game. Up to date now then. We might get some session in tonight. We did a session the other day and we concluded the Euros. So it's all good fun. Till next time from me, guys, take it easy.